Hey, Rosebuds, it is your girl, Ebony Rose, and if I look kind of worn out right now, it's because I am. I've been trying to record this video and have it posted up, but it's always something from the battery to there not being space on my phone, although I deleted damn near all of my photos and videos and all that stuff. So I really don't know how it's gonna play out this time, but if you're seeing it, my prayers were answered and it got out to you. This is not something that let me put it this way, it's a work that I must take on. It's an assignment that was given to me by the Most High, and no matter how I feel, I have to get it done, especially when the time calls for it, which is why I am here recording, even after recording countless of other times, so I could get you this message. So this message will be a continuum of the last video that I did, titled How to Die Right. And I know that I said I was gonna do a series on it, and though I still may, I really don't want to make it a long drawn out series, you know what I mean, because there's so much other areas that I want to touch on that I feel are as equally important. I'm not sure what I'm going to title this video. However, it is basically 5 steps that you can take to raise yourself out of a low frequency, out of a frequency of doom, out of melancholy, out of the state of being so depressed to where thoughts such as what we've been talking about lately comes about. Now, as I mentioned before, I've had such thoughts myself, so I know exactly what that's like. I've had to pick myself up from it, and the reason why I feel like it's so important to talk about, because stuff like this you can't really speak on with a psychiatrist or even with your close friends or family members, because people just don't know how to respond to it. And the reason why you have feelings like this is because it is an aspect of yourself that is looking to awaken, but your body has not caught up to where your spirit could fully express itself. And the fact that it feels useless, not that it feels useless, but your consciousness perceives itself as being useless because it not being a container to hold that spirit within so it could express itself in the authentic way in which it's looking to do. You see no other solution but to escape. And if you watch that other video, you already know why that is not the way that you'd want to go, because you know, if you go that way and you don't embark on, my apologies y'all, if you don't embark on these challenges, then it's just like video game, you're gonna do it again. And I can't really think of a video game in mind right now, but I can recall those times when I played video games and I would redo a level, right? And then that level will become even more harder the next time around. And that is kind of like how you'd have to view escaping, because if you don't successfully get through that level and you redo it again, then the burden in which you felt like you was carrying that you couldn't bear and decided to escape from, you end up with that same burden, only triple times, quadruple times, 10 times heavier. So that is why it's important to explore the aspects of yourself that's going to catapult you to the timeline in which you need to get to, so you can embody this aspect that will give you the utmost freedom. It's not easy, but you need to at least embark on the path. And I know it's easier said than done, especially if you're coming from the angle of being in a rut. So, that is why I'm here, because I do know that it is easier said than done. I could sit there and blase tell you this stuff all day, but at the end of the day, you're feeling it. And I know that me saying it and you feeling it, you're like, okay, well, you don't feel like how I feel. So you telling me what you telling me on the other end of this camera lens is not doing much for me, because at the end of the day, I am the one harboring this feeling. And I know exactly what you feel. It's so imperative for you to understand that I know how it is to feel that way, because I've gone through that. And that is why I could even name these things that may run through your mind, because I myself have been there. However, if there's no escape and you are trapped here, and death has yet to call for you, what we gonna do, right? We gotta just live this life to the best of our ability. And if you feel trapped now, if you feel dead now, if you are embarking on a bunch of emotions in which you don't want to feel, because for you to feel emotions would mean that you are alive, and you perhaps don't want to be alive because you don't want to feel these emotions. But what you have to look at it as is that these emotions are a gateway to help you navigate through this world. So rather than allow these emotions to work against you, you need to be behind the wheel of these emotions and allow it to work for you. Allow it to help aid you, guide you on the path that you need to embark on. And that requires a level of detachment. At the end of the day, you have been a victim to the outside stimuli of this world. And that has all to do with you not being the main character of your life. And that is the switch that we need to turn on, that places the spotlight on you as the main character. Now, if you feel like you can't move now, if you feel like you're stagnant now, if you feel like all you can do is just mope in your emotions, then be in that truth for a minute. I mean, you already doing something right just by you tuning into this video. So, I understand. Nonetheless, you're going to have to take a step somewhere. It does not have to be a big step, but it does have to be a step. And so far, you've taken a baby step by having a video such as this on, right? But now what I'm going to do is give you 5 steps that you can take to help elevate you from this low pit of a frequency and propel you on a path to where you begin to take your power back. And if you stay to the end of this video, which I'm hoping is not that long, then I will gift you with, I'm not going to tell you yet, but I will have a gift for you at the end. So without further ado, let's continue. I want y'all to see this raggedy ass baby hair that I had going on. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to be braiding my hair anyway. I have my hair all out in this natural look for about, since the weekend started, and now it's Wednesday. So I think I'm going to braid it, and yeah, and throw some wig on it. All right, I'm getting distracted now. So let's get to the steps. So steps that could help raise your frequency, your vibe up, get you out of that pit, is to develop a habit that gets you through. So I remember when I was going through my whole roller coaster of a downward spiral, where every single day I contemplated on doing the very thing that you cannot turn back from. I lost my job in the midst. I lost the energy to even keep up with myself, right? And it was just going downhill. But once I started to pick myself up, I remember that the one thing, if I managed to bring myself to do, would be a big goal for me. And that was shaving my armpits, believe it or not. Because, yeah, I didn't care about anything. So I didn't want to do anything. But it was the day that came where I was like, you know what, if I could shave my armpits, then we off to a good start. Next thing you know, I'll work on doing my hair. I'll work on arching my eyebrows. I'll work on thinking of a cute outfit to wear instead of going around town looking like, I don't know, Felicia, you know, like, so maybe you start off big. Maybe you start off saying that I'm gonna do me some calisthenics. Is that what the workout is called? I don't know, but you do some grandiose workout. You do that, kudos to you, okay? Like, I don't even know if you need me anymore. But yeah, but I mean, just keep in mind that it doesn't have to be that. If you're struggling to get there, then start with baby steps. Right now, I'm not living the life of my dreams. I'm far from it. But with every little thing that I do that may seem small, is to help align me on that. For instance, I do Duolingo just about every day. If I'm missing days, no more than 2 days max. But for the most part, I'm doing Duolingo every day. I'm already bilingual, but my goal is to be trilingual. And maybe further down the line, be quadruple lingo, you know? But that's something that I do every day because I got to get this language down pat. And I have it, eventually when I build upon that, I will have the book out. I will be on my dictionary. I will add on more layers into catapulting my sense of gaining knowledge. But yeah, that right there. That's what you want to do, build a habit, whether it's cleaning every day, whether it's yoga, whether it's writing in your journal every day. Create a habit that you know that you'll be able to keep up with, that will be conducive to your growth. It shouldn't be anything toxic. Granted, this is a world where, we're filled with so many things on the spectrum, and you may end up doing something toxic that gets you out of something else that's toxic, or something that's not so toxic that can become toxic. So be mindful of that, because your choices do come with its own karma. So it could be tied to either a reward, or it could be tied to a consequence. So be mindful, because what you sow is what you're going to reap. My second thing is to have some form of spirituality. This spirituality is something that should help you, reflect your core authentic self back to you. So if that is something like mainstream Christianity, then you should do that. If it says something as what is deemed to be taboo to the world and something of the occult, then you should do that. Whatever it is that makes you harness this real authentic version of you, go that route. No matter what anybody says. I know I'm not into no mainstream Christianity, but then what I think, if that's something that calls to your soul, make sure you do it. If people's turning away and people got something to say about what is taboo, keep in mind that people often hate what they don't understand. And if it's a calling to you, then you need to go ahead and seek that calling, honey, because it's calling you for a reason. So you should have some type of in-depth spirituality, something that, again, reflects your authentic self to yourself. Number 3 is knowledge. Always seek knowledge. You should always be learning something new every single day. You could read books. We got YouTube University out here. We have, when you converse with, people that you don't necessarily have to get so deep with, but on how should I say this? On a casual sense, when you converse with them, you may learn something new, something that you never knew before. But you should always aim to get some knowledge. Even, every now and then when I read the Bible, which I need to make it a habit of, because there's other books that I want to hurry up and get into. But there's always something that I learn. So aim to always learn something new. Me doing Duolingo, I'm always learning new words in this particular language in which I'm learning. Number 4 is to embody solitude. Solitude is where you hear yourself. You hear the voice of the Most High. It does not get drowned in the ambiance of others, because it's in that solitude that you get to cultivate your sense of self. Now, if you are in a down and out phase, damn near on the brink of just not wanting to exist anymore, it's because you have lost all touch with your real self, with your core self. It is lost in the abyss. And one way you could go about getting that sense of self back is solitude. It won't be around company or ambiance. It's just going to drown it out even more. So you want to seek that solitude and be in that solitude for as long as you need to before stepping back out on the scene. The next time you step back on the scene, your spirit should be able to hold space rather than shrink in the presence of others. I'll just say that. Number 5, purpose. And this is our last one. Purpose. What number? 19. Okay, let's try to make this quick. Purpose. Throughout all these steps, you should come to a point where you have found your purpose. And if you have not found your purpose, that's okay. That's okay. Chill. I got you. You need to at least be in the momentum of doing something that you like, and something that you like could be in one of the 5 steps that I've mentioned. But in doing something that you like, inevitably that will take you on a path that will eventually get you to your purpose. So, it's really the journey that matters. Before I go, I'm just gonna list everything again. Number one is to develop a habit that gets you through. Number two is a spiritual practice. Okay, and number three is knowledge, to be sure to gain knowledge. Number four is solitude, and number four is purpose, or to be on the path in which you are embarking on something that you like. Okay, so these are the 5 tips that I have for y'all. Down in the description box, I left a little present for you. It is an ebook that I actually had up selling on Amazon. I may still have it up, but right now you can get it down below just by clicking on the link for the free 99. Alright, it goes through 12 steps of well-being. You embark on these 12 steps, you will be gold, honey. So yeah, that's for you. That's my present for you. Until I see you next time, indulge in that. It's a quick ebook. The next time we meet, I think I mentioned this before, I do want to go through certain entities in which embodies death. And the reason why I want to go through these entities is because in going through these entities, you learn how to embody life. You understand the value and the pure essence of life, and how it really, in all actuality, even amidst all this drudgery, is actually a gift. And that is the journey I want to take with you on the next time that we meet. Yeah, so that's why we out here embracing death, because in this embracement of death, we are coming to understand the value of life. And we want to come to understand the value of life so we could therefore live life to the fullest. And when holy death does call for us, we could be crowned rather than, another bystander. Okay, so that is all my rosebuds. I hope that this video was of use to you. I try to make it as short as possible, but this is where we are. Until next time, bloom, rosebuds, bloom.